How y'all doing? This is Earthquake from Tattoo for You. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Phomemo, my bad. This is a Bluetooth stencil machine, tattoo stencil machine. They're on sale right now for $150. I don't know how long they'll stay on sale. So I snagged one up because I've been using that ghetto one you guys have seen in the old videos, the old eBay special. I had to buy the case separately because I wasn't paying attention. So it was $20 whether you buy the case with this as one piece or separately. So let's unbox this. I have opened this and used it just to test it out, see if there was any hiccups, which there was, and I will show you as we go. It wasn't anything major. It was mainly just reversing an image to get it to print straight. So you have to reverse your image to get it to print because of the way you put your stencil paper in this machine. It's not a big deal. It's just you reverse the image. So on the app it'll be backwards, but when it prints it'll be straight, which I believe that's how all of these work. So you get, in the package it comes with a little like silk cloth material pouch. For the $150, this is not included. This is an extra $20. I have not opened it yet, but I've seen pictures. We'll open that in a minute. So for $150, you get charging cable, an adapter for the cable. I don't know. I didn't plug it in yet, but I'm assuming this is an adapter for a phone wall mount piece. My brain is just toast at the moment. You get some pieces of paper because this will also print on paper, versus like you can't use the paper for like as transfer paper, but it will print your image on it. And then you just want to use some stencil thermocopier paper with the carbon sheet and your stencil sheet. So you do have to download an app. You scan the little barcode, you get the app. So let me do that on my tablet because I have the app on my phone. So we're gonna cut and come back and I'll have the tablet out and show you how everything works. Okay, so now I got the app downloaded. We're gonna hold this for 3 seconds. Okay, so now we got this going. You download the app, you hit connect, and then it'll be MO8F. Let's see if you can read that. There you go. Okay, we're gonna get some of this other stuff out of the way. So when you open, like when you get to the paper, it'll say this should face up, because it's when you print stuff on this, it's gonna print from the bottom up. So to load up your paper, you're gonna hit these two buttons, which releases this. So you can open this, and then you're gonna stick these two pieces through, but you gotta hold this at like an angle to get the pieces to stick. And you're just gonna wanna have just a little bit hanging out, and there's these two followers to make sure your paper's in right. This is for an A4, which is standard printing paper size. So once you get that, so this is, alright. See how this is barely hanging out the back? Now you're gonna go, I'll move that back a little bit because my iPad's huge. We're gonna go, you can either throw that like that. You can either scan an image, print images from the web, so you can go wherever you want to go, print an image directly from there. We're gonna do print image. You can do batches, so which you do have to allow your photos, and you could just take a bunch of different stuff and put it together. But I'm gonna do free edit, and we'll do Butterfree. Which I got the Yankee Marshall on here. So something I took off of Pinterest just for inspiration. Alright, so you're gonna click on this, and then you can hit replace, rotate, so you can, so what I was talking about before, when you want to flip your image, you want to hit this button, which reverses it, so that way when it prints, it won't look like this, it'll look like that. And then you can do, you know, flip your image wherever you want, up, down, whatever. There's adjustments to brightnesses. So we're gonna go back to 0, which if I can find it with my fat fingers. And then there's dark, light, and then filters, so you can have your full color image. You can switch it to PO1, PO2, PO3, straight black and white. So if you want to take a color piece and you want to know what it looks like in black and white, you just click this one, and then you can go with some wacky camera mode, or you can just lighten your colors. So this is original, this is with the lighten, like more like a pastel kind of color, and then it'll show you your shading a little bit more than this will. So what I would do is this, and then we will go up to this button, and then you will pick how thick you want your lines. So you can do light, medium, heavy, dedicated. I'm dyslexic, it took me a minute. And then you're gonna want to hit print. So at that point, you're gonna want to put your piece of paper down so it'll print right. Hit print. Let that run through. And then it's gonna tell you you are out of paper, but it's single use, so you have to hit the buttons, put another piece in. It's not an issue. So then here's your design, which alright, it's on the thermal copier, it gets reversed. On regular paper, it goes regular. So that was my bad. I've used this app once, so. Let's move the thermal copier paper, stencil paper, whatever you want to call it. So this is cheap Amazon knockoff Spirit, which even stole their logo. I'll put a link. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty much on par with Spirit. You'll see once I run the stencil. So we're gonna open this back up again. Like normally when you order cheap stuff, this back yellow piece will be like super thin and flimsy, and this is a really thick piece of paper back here. So if you never used stencils before, a stencil machine, you got 4 sheets. So you got the back protector, which is the yellow. You got your ink, which is the purple-ish blue. And then you have your stencil. Like this is what actually gets printed on this piece right here. So this is a protector from the ink, this sheet. So you got to remove this sheet. We'll set that aside in case you don't want to use your stencil today. You know, maybe you printed a bunch out like I'm about to. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and eliminate this crease that I got in here from storage because I grabbed too many yesterday. So we will be taking this, running it through here, and then we are only going to want just a little tiny bit sticking out the other side. So you're going to want to pull it back to the point where it's not super tight, but it's, you know, all of it's up. And you want it aligned so that way everything prints straight. And then you're going to shut this evenly. Now we got our same image already ready to print, so I'm just going to hit print again. And then that is going to run through, which you're going to want to try and grab that so that way it doesn't get bound up. So now see what I mean, how it reverses on the thermal paper. I'll push this over a little bit so you can see it. So that's why we had to reverse the image. If you print it on regular paper, you leave the image alone. If you're printing to actually make a stencil on someone, you're gonna flop the image around. Now, like I said, this makes, actually I don't think I said it yet, but this makes really good stencils. Way better than my eBay cheapie that I bought. I bought that thing like 8 years ago. It works, but it does not make stencils as good a quality as this. Like my other one, there'll be pieces missing and whatnot, and yeah. So if you're gonna save this image, you're gonna want to take, like if you don't want to stencil it today, you're gonna want to take this piece, put it back over the ink, fold this back over. If you have a folder, throw it in a folder. If it's gonna be laying around, you know, in a drawer or something like that, take some masking tape, like wherever your stencil isn't, so like up here, and then maybe down here, just a little tiny piece, so that way this isn't moving around. This side up, because it's gonna, see this gold piece, it's gonna burn the image on the back here. So we're gonna follow these lips, get this in. We don't want much sticking out on the other side. And then we're gonna snap and lock these two pieces in. See how there's just a little bit in? You want it as straight as possible so that way your image prints straight. So we're gonna, there's all different modes. This is an A4 thermal copier, so it's standard printer paper, standard stencil paper. So there's all different options. You can go to graphics that are already in the app. You just scroll, like if you're making stuff, whatever. Most of us, if you're gonna be using this, you're gonna have your own hand-drawn stuff. You can do a document print, you can do a web search. So take all these different apps, you can make your own app, like click another app into it. You can scan, which will access your camera. You take a picture of something you want to do. Exit out. Print images. You can do a batch of images where you select a bunch of images and then just keep feeding the paper in as it prints. Or you can do free editing, and in this one you can just select a bunch of these and then you can make a flash sheet like that, basically. So we're gonna exit all these out. Today we're just gonna select something. We'll do this. Something that I ripped off Pinterest that I wanted to rework and just haven't got around to. Now, you see this line down here? When it comes to stencil paper, you don't want to go quite to the line because it'll chop your image off. So you want to leave like good millimeter or two. You want to try and get this as straight as possible. And then you're gonna hit this button up here, and then you're gonna go down here. It's gonna have print settings. You can select how many copies, light, heavy, medium, dedicated. I always go with a heavy stencil. So we're gonna hit this button, and then we're gonna hit print. Now, like I said, it burns your image on. See how we had this side should face up? Because it burns the image from the bottom up. So now you get a nice black and gray. It does not do it in color because it's actually burning the paper. This isn't ink. So we'll move that over here. Now we're gonna do the same thing, but with stencil paper. I got a sheet here. It's knockoff Spirit I bought on Amazon. They legit took a Spirit box and threw their stuff in it. When I got it in the mail, it came like this. This was pretty much popped open. This side was completely popped open. This was open. But it's pretty good, you know, as far as cheap stencil paper, it works. It's got a really thick yellow sheet. It's got a pretty decent ink sheet. It's got the protector, and then here's your actual stencil paper in case you're not familiar with this. So the way we're gonna load this in is we are gonna take your yellow sheet like that, and then you're gonna have your ink, your stencil paper, and then we're gonna hit these two buttons again. If I can do this on the camera. Now, you do not want to have your machine all the way open because then the paper can't get through. So you want it kind of just barely popped open. You want to follow those guides. You want the yellow sheet completely popped through to the other side. Now we're gonna flip this down, flip that up like that. Now, I forgot to say this before, now that we're on this. If you click your image, you can, with thermal paper, we're gonna, alright, let's go back down. So, here's your image, it's facing this way. When you print it on paper, you print it regular. When you go to thermal paper, you're gonna go and you're gonna hit this button and reverse it. Because if not, if you print it the way it is, it'll print like this. So if you flip it like this, it'll print the right way. And then there's wait, which one was the right way? Crap. Discard changes. Alright, that's the right way. So let's get this back here. Now we're not gonna go quite, there we go. We're gonna hit this button, nope. We're gonna hit this. Then we're gonna go to filters. So you're in color. If you hit this button here, it goes just like a black blob. That'll do line work. That'll do line work. This will flop it to straight black and gray. That'll do like a weird photo thing, and that will take it to a lighter shade of color. So if you go back to the original image, which is that, and this will make it more like lighter pastel kind of stuff. So we're gonna go to this, so that way we have all our line weights, and then we are gonna go to that, and then we're gonna hit print. I'm gonna grab up here so that way nothing gets messed up. So like I said, if you put your image too far down, it will get chopped off like it did. So I should have actually put it up a little bit more. See how low I have this? It should have been just a little bit further up, and then you'll have a nice smooth stencil. Now we're gonna try and print this in the full black and gray because I've never actually tried that. So let's try it. So when you are loading this up, you want to have this yellow piece completely out, but you want it as close up to here as you can get while it's still straight. And then you clamp it down, throw that up like that, throw this out of our way. Now we're gonna edit this image just a little bit because it wasn't quite fitting before. Now alright, now we're gonna hit print. Put this down here. We're gonna grab this piece up here. Now, like I said, if you reverse the image before you print it, it'll print straight. So if we wouldn't have printed it, if we would have printed it looking like this, it would have came out looking like that. The hand would be on the left versus the right where it's supposed to be. So this thing, let's get this out of the way. Move our stencil. So this takes I think it takes 2 hours to charge or an hour and a half to charge, and you can print 140 pages before it'll die. What's the case? Now onto the case. If you open this up, you'll see if this is worth the extra 20 bucks. You got a nice little handle. It's one of the semi-crush proof cases. Now, inside your case you don't have anything, but this fits in there. You could actually put it in your sock that it comes with first. I'll put this in there. Get all that tucked in. This is good, especially if you're on the go a lot. You can tuck your chargers in here, and then you can tuck a few sheets of stencil paper in here. You know, just in case you mess up, you want to bring a couple extra. And this should all close. You know, it's going to be a little tight with the stencil paper and the sock, but now you got a nice, compact, portable stencil machine. You got your stencil paper, probably throw a couple of ink pens in there if you want to, in some regular paper if you want to draw something out real quick, take a picture of it, run it through the app, you know, or even if you just want to store it like this, For the extra 20 bucks, get the case, in my opinion. That's what I did. You know, bam. I've been Earthquake from Tattoo For You. This has been the Phomemo portable stencil machine, thermocopier, whatever you want to call it. It's a stencil machine. Like, subscribe, share, pass on the knowledge. Y'all have a good day.